Who are they? Thank you, everybody. Great honor. This is a great honor. Great state. I have a lot of property. A lot of people in Virginia. Pay a lot of checks, being every night, every day. A lot of great success I've had in Virginia over the years, and we have just phenomenal stuff. In Loudoun County, as you know, we have down in Charlottesville and some other stuff. Tremendous, tremendous, beautiful property. Charlottesville's right next to Thomas Jefferson. He was an architect. You know, he had great taste. He had great taste. He understood. That's some of the most beautiful land I've ever seen. So I love Virginia, and we are going to win Virginia. We're going to win Virginia. I'm going to go over some of the statistics when Tim Kaine was governor. They're not pretty. They're not pretty. But before I do, I just want to say that Debbie Wasserman Schultz I always knew she was highly overrated. Nope. Not good. But she just got fired. They said, Debbie, you're fired. Get out, Debbie. Out. Boom. Boy. They were... How about that for disloyalty, though, in terms of Hillary Clinton? In all fairness. Because Debbie Wasserman Schultz has been so much for Hillary Clinton. And as far... This is why these politicians, folks. Other than Mike Pence, of course, he's not. But these politicians, Hillary Clinton. So, there's no loyalty there. There's no loyalty. None whatsoever. It gets a little heat, and they fire her. Get out of here fast. She knew what was going on. Hillary Clinton knew what was going on. She knew everything that was going on. She knew it's a rigged system, that Bernie Sanders never had a chance, okay? He never had a chance. And if you look at it, look what's going on. They're having a lot of people marching. Now, a lot of those people are going to vote for us, I'll tell you right now. A lot of them. And not even because they like me or they don't like me, although I have to see, have you seen the polls that just came out? Right? We had like the biggest bounce that anyone can remember. They said, well, if he gets out of the convention with no bounce, that will be a success. Do we have 9 points or something? 10 points? We're leading. We're actually leading in the polls. And the CNN poll was so good, I may have to start liking them again. No, they treat me unfairly, but you know what's more important? The poll. But you know the big poll, that's November 8th, that's the poll we care about. But look how disloyal crooked Hillary Clinton was to somebody that put her life on the line. I mean, what she did in order to take advantage of Bernie Sanders and all of the supporters. Debbie Wasserman, what she did in order to make sure that the system, the rigged system, stays intact and Hillary gets it. And then you see the emails. Can you imagine? They talk about religion. They talk about religion. Can you imagine if that was I'd right now be on the front page of every newspaper. It would be horrible. And they're trying to play it down. Well, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. No, but could you imagine, seriously, there's such a different standard. So here's the story. So Debbie was totally loyal to Hillary. And Hillary threw her under a bus, and it didn't take her more than 5 minutes to make that decision. Man, I don't want her covering my back. I'll tell you right now. It's true. It's true. Now, the other thing I'm surprised at, you know, it's nice when you're not reading speeches, isn't it? Because I can talk about current events. This stuff happened 10 minutes ago. You know, if you're reading speeches, I see these guys. I dealt with a lot of them. I've actually been a very political person all my life. I've always been on the other side. But now for 14 months I've been doing this, and I like this side in a certain way better because we can do things better. They used to love me when I was just a contributor. I'd give millions of dollars, I was a contributor. No, I know, I like this better. I like being non-establishment better. But with Bernie, when you look at what happened, the thing that surprises me most is how he folded. He folded. I thought he was really hanging out tough. Then they find these horrible emails talking about his religion, and is he Jewish, and is he an atheist, and what, and that's not going to play well, and so, man, that's rough. And that's not as bad as some of the other ones. And I said, there's no way that Bernie Sanders shows up to make a speech. There's no way that he can ever endorse crooked Hillary Clinton anymore, right? There's no way. And today I see him trying to make the case. And his own people are out there booing. Okay, they're out there booing. So, it's pretty bad. Then I'll tell you, Hillary Clinton, I've been saying this for a long time, and I got it from Bernie Sanders, because he said she suffers from bad judgment, right? Bad judgment. She suffers from very bad judgment. Her instincts are bad, they're no good. Her instincts are defective. Her instincts are defective. But she's low energy. She actually is low energy. She'll go home, she'll take a nap for 4 or 5 hours, then she'll come back. No naps for Trump. No nap. I don't take naps. We don't have time. We don't have time. You ever see Hillary where she comes out and she'll read a teleprompter for a little while, then she'll go, you don't see her for 3-4 days, then she comes back, and then they used to, I remember in Iowa, they'd put like 3 or 4 people, really nice people in there sitting around a little table, and everyone would say, well, I'd like to ask her a question. No, you're too tough. This is what we have. How do you think ISIS is going to react? Yeah, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Not going to be good. No, we have tough enemies out there. We have tough, mean, vicious, horrible people. These are horrible human beings. We need toughness, folks. It's about time. We need strength. We need toughness. We need smarts. We need warmth. We need compassion. We need everything. We need everything. But we don't need somebody that goes home and takes naps. We don't need naps. But what did surprise me was that Bernie was so soft on this. I was amazed because I watched the speech, we must vote for Hillary Clinton. I mean, the hatred he's got, why would he do that? He looks better if he didn't do it. To me, hey, what do I have to do with it? I don't care. Whatever he wants to do. But could you imagine if what's taking place now with the Democrats took place in Cleveland? And by the way, I have to tell you, Cleveland did an amazing job. Thank you, Ohio. Thank you, Cleveland. What a job. I spoke to the police chief, Calvin, did a phenomenal job up there. But what we had, and the Secret Service, working with the Secret Service, what a job they did. But Cleveland's a beautiful place. I mean, really, I was so happy. We had no problem. So we're trying to show, I know they showed this one square, where it was this big square and then a few people, they bring the cameras in close, really good. Because they don't want to show all the beautiful grass, with no people on it. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because people like our message. People like our message. They really like it. And if you look at Philadelphia, I went to school in Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. If you look at Philadelphia, what they're going through right now, it looks like a lot of people. It's 100 degrees. And speaking of that, by the way, I don't know if you should. Did you know I went to the other room? So you have a second room, and then outside you have over 1,000 people, and it's 104 degrees out. Well, think of it. And it's the first time I ever did it. I said, let's go to the second room first, right? That's the empty room. But let's go because it's the overflow. I said, so I went in there, we surprised them, we were nice. But I will love these people. But you know what I also like? I don't have to do it later. And outside we have a lot of people, and I wish they'd let them in. The fire department won't let them in because of a fire regulation, which is very sad because they're outside. We have speakers out there. I think the speakers are burning up, folks. It is hot. I wish the fire marshal, where is the fire marshal? Is he around here? Come on, fire marshal. if they could get in, Fire Marshal, you know, you have doors that go right out to the outside. I promise there's nothing like you don't have a problem. I feel badly. We have those people, we have people standing outside. You can get a few more people inside. If they could, let them in. So, that's the way a builder would talk, okay? That's the way a builder would talk. So you have the firing of the head of the DNC. And that was a vicious firing. A lot of things happened. You had her firing. Hillary Clinton's total disloyalty was at play. It really was. People don't say that. They won't say that on the media. Oh, if I did something with Reince, can you imagine if I fired Reince? I wouldn't do that, because Reince has done such a great job. Reince Priebus. What a job he has done. And I always used to say, for months now, I've been saying, I'll take Reince over Debbie. And everyone said, oh, but Debbie's a superstar. I said, so is Reince. And then it turned out that Debbie flamed out, and she's gone, but the disloyalty was incredible. And I really mean that, because honestly, whether you like her or not, she worked very hard to rig the system so that Hillary got it. It's true, right? It's true. No, it's true. She worked very, very hard to rig the system. Little did she know that China, Russia, one of our many, many friends, came in and hacked the hell out of us. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what they're hacking? I guarantee we'll find the 33,000 emails. Why did Hillary get rid of her middle name? Huh? Hillary? No, but why did she get rid of it? Hillary Rotten Clinton. Rotten Clinton. Hillary Rotten Clinton, right? Maybe that's why. It's too close. No, it's too close. It's too close. You think Mike Pence would say this? I don't think so. By the way, did I do a good job with Mike Pence? Okay? Him and his family. What a high-quality person. You know, you have to vet people, right? And we vetted Mike. And they came back, and these are killers. And they came back with many pages on certain people, okay? Many pages. I'd like to write a book. Many, many pages. With Mike, they came back with like nothing. He's like the most perfect human being, this guy. I said, Mike, did you ever do anything wrong in your whole life? No, I don't think so. He is, where is he? He's the best guy, that guy is. I love this guy. I love him. I love him. But you know what I really like about Mike? So listen to this. To me, a very important thing is her bad judgment. Now, whether you like her choice, Tim Kaine, nobody even knows who he is. No. He's done a terrible job for Virginia. I assumed they said, oh, he picked, he got picked because of Virginia. Because Virginia's very important, and I'm doing very well here. Hey, I'm employing a lot of people here, and they don't employ anybody. I spent a lot of money in Potomac Falls, Sterling, that area. I mean, I spent a lot of money. We have great, great things happening. Next year we have the Senior PGA Championship coming. Thousands and thousands of people will come into Virginia and spend a lot of money. Thank you, I love you too, Doug. But just think of it. So Hillary Clinton has almost a 50% of the people want a progressive. Okay, we don't have to like that, but that's okay. That's where they are. They want to give everything away and raise your taxes. That's what happens. No. She will have a tax raise. By the way, I have the largest tax cut of anybody running for office, Republican or Democrat, okay? But Hillary Clinton will have a tax cut that is not there. It's going to be a tax cut times 20 in reverse, like a rocket ship. We have the biggest tax cut proposed, I guess, in the last 4 years, and we're going to get it through. At least we're going to get most of it through. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try and get all of it through. But we have, and it's policy, it's put out there. That doesn't mean there's not a little negotiation, because we're going to have to negotiate. But we're going to have it go. Hillary Clinton's going to have one of the biggest tax increases in the history of our country, because what she's proposing, you're going to have to pay for. Very simple. Very simple. Now, maybe she'll, after she gets rid of Bernie, get rid of all this stuff. It doesn't help you, by the way. But what she's proposing, she needs to have a massive, massive tax increase. Now, nobody ever talks about that. Do you notice she never talks about who's going to pay for it and how they're going to pay? But just statistically, she's going to need a very major tax cut. But here's something to me that's very interesting. 50% of that party is Bernie Sanders, almost. And they're very passionate, and that's a much more passionate side. Her people, they fall asleep, okay? They fall asleep, they're watching her. With Bernie's people, they're really out there. They say what you want about Bernie Sanders. He got it on free trade. He got it. Free trade. Now, I'm a free trader. I believe in free trade. They get it all wrong because they just don't say it properly. But I want smart trade. I want to trade with other countries. But I don't want to lose $500 million a year with China. Thank you, China. We love you very much, but we're not going to lose $500 million. And I don't want to have a trade imbalance with Japan where they send us millions of cars and we send them some beef. And then they send it back, right? And then we send some wheat. They send cars, we send wheat. Sounds like we're going to send a lot of wheat, right? The trade imbalance is massive. And with Mexico, we have an unbelievably big trade amount. So they kill us at the border. They kill us. They're killing us at the border. And we have one of the biggest trade imbalances. And what happens? What happens? I'm not even including the drugs, right? The drugs are pouring across. I won the state of New Hampshire. And I got very, very friendly with the people in New Hampshire. I'll never forget that. Because that's an amazing group of people. And I said, what's your biggest problem? They said, heroin pouring across the southern border. I said, heroin, New Hampshire, because you look at New Hampshire, it's so beautiful, with the lakes and the little beautiful roads and the trees and the forests. I said, you don't have heroin. I said, you have. He said, Mr. Trump, you have no idea. It's one of the worst areas for it. It comes pouring across the southern border. I said, you know what? If I win, I'm going to fix that problem. Well, I am going to fix that problem. I'm going to fix that problem. And one of the ways, I appreciate that. I always like to say if I win, because honestly, life is a very strange thing, and I don't want to be arrogant because I don't want to be accused by them of being arrogant. So I'll say if. But it better be when, or I'm going to be very angry at you folks from Virginia. From Virginia. But the folks in New Hampshire, and you're having the same problems, but they're having it for whatever reason disproportionately badly. Heroin is pouring across the border, and it's going all over the country, by the way. Everybody's got the problem. You buy it for less than a candy bar, and our youth is being poisoned, and plenty of other people. But our youth is being poisoned by this stuff. Heroin. And what we're going to do, thank you, and what we're going to do is, first of all, the Border Patrol agents endorsed me, 16,500, they've never done that. And their job is easier now without Trump. Their job is easier without Trump because, right now they just stand and people go by. And these are great people. I got to know them very well. The Border Patrol agents want to do their job. It's a much tougher job, probably a much more dangerous job. When you stop people and say, sorry, folks, boom, go back. But that's more dangerous than saying, we can't do anything. It's called stand back and leave them alone. Let them walk right in. How stupid are we? Okay? So I spoke to them when they endorsed me. And I said, so let me ask you, a wall, how important? They said, Mr. Trump, it's very, 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 very. And they know. They know. See, I just saved $1 million. Somebody else would go out and hire a consultant who knows nothing. They'd come in from Harvard, they'd spend about a year at the border, they'd learn nothing. They then write this 2,000-page report that nobody will read. They'll charge you $1 million for the report, and you have no idea what just happened. As opposed to saying, like I did with the Border Patrol, is the wall good? They said, very good. They actually used an interesting expression. They said it's a vital tool to turn things around. It was a very interesting expression. They didn't say, great, man. They just said, it's a vital tool, Mr. Trump, to turn things around, especially the drug traffic. Because it's very tough. And we can build that wall so easily. And by the way, Mexico is going to pay for the wall. Just because. They're going to pay for it. And we got great marks on the speech the other night. And everyone did. Everybody did so great. We had that, by the way, I have to say, the Republican National Convention was such a tremendous success. It was so great. I mean, we had a couple of people that I think probably destroyed their careers, but who knows? But honestly, that was such an incredible success. And look at what's going on in Philadelphia. That was such a beautiful deal. The city of Cleveland was great, and the law enforcement was unbelievable. We had no riots, we had no nothing. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget it as long as I live. It was unbelievable. And I made a speech, and I have to tell you, because I figured this wouldn't happen, because I could, if I made a speech, if I gave the Gettysburg Address as good as anybody could possibly get, I figured, you always get knocked. I got great reviews on the speech. I got great reviews. We got standing ovations. Some people said, well, the speech was a little long. That's because we had 26 or 27 minutes of standing ovations. We had applause. And I had a great time doing it because I'm talking about something that I love. We're in a movement, folks. This is a movement. This isn't just, I love what we're doing together, right? I love what we're doing together. I love it. And what I have to say is this. So Hillary Clinton has bad judgment. She shouldn't have picked this guy. Big mistake. Because he is the exact opposite what all of the Bernie people want. Now, if he got 2% of the vote, or 5% of the vote, or 20% of the vote, but you know what? He almost beat her. If the system wasn't gamed, he would have beat her. He would have beaten her. Now think of this. So instead of picking somebody, and you don't have to go with Pocahontas, you don't have to go that far, who, by the way, who hasn't done anything. She is the worst senator in the U.S. Senate. She's got a fresh mouth. Other than that, she's got nothing going. She has done nothing in the U.S. Senate. But you don't have to pick her. But you could have picked a liberal person, and we understand it. We can live with it. And she could have had party unity. Instead, they have thousands and thousands of people going crazy because she didn't pick somebody representative. She didn't pick somebody representative of what's going on. Let's look again. She's got bad judgment. Whether it's Libya, whether it's Benghazi, whether it's at night with the calls, everybody's calling. The only call she answers is her friend calls. She picks that one up. But she doesn't pick up the calls for help. She's got bad judgment. Bernie Sanders said she's got bad judgment. She's got bad judgment when it came to picking a vice presidential candidate for that side of the party. I actually just asked Mike Pence. I said, Mike, do you think she's going to be forced to change? Because honestly, now, I wouldn't pick him. I wouldn't pick him for a different reason, though. You know why I wouldn't pick him? So, Mike Pence in Indiana has done an unbelievable job. The AAA bond rating, so many different things. Job creation, top in virtually every category, right toward the top, at the top. Listen to this. During Tim Kaine's tenure as governor of Virginia, plus he's not very popular, I thought that I would see polls saying he's at 85% and Trump is going to lose Virginia. People don't even like the guy. And a little weird little dude there. I don't know what's going on with him. During Tim Kaine's tenure as governor of Virginia, from 2006 to 2010, the unemployment rate of the state more than doubled. So I immediately went back to my statistician. I said, listen, do me a favor. Will you please check it? He came back, he said, hey, maybe he's wrong. More than double. This is your great governor, right? Now, Governor Mike Pence cut unemployment rate from 8.4% to less than 5%. Quickly. Since 2013, Indiana's gone from 31st in the nation for veterans unemployment to second, and it's going to go to first. Okay? Veterans unemployment. During Tim Kaine, that's the guy that bad judgment, crooked, Hillary Clinton, bad judgment, such bad judgment. We can't have another president with bad judgment. We can't do it. During Tim Kaine's tenure as governor, the state of Virginia lost 60,000 manufacturing jobs. Now, Indiana gained 30,000. Now it's a different time and different everything. He was, so I'm not comparing. They're not, because they'll say, well, one was here and one was there. But I'll tell you, if Mike Pence or me was running Virginia, we'd do better. This guy did a lousy job. You know why? He's a political hack. That's why. He's a political hack. Look what he's done. Look what he's done. He's always been in politics. He likes politics. He wants to be in politics, always. Okay. During Tim Kaine's tenure as governor of Virginia, it averaged almost no GDP growth. And Indiana, as you know, is doing great. I mean, think of it. Here's a beauty. Okay. Nobody is going to vote for Tim Kaine when you hear this one. Okay. Tim Kaine. I never even heard of this guy. Less than a week after Tim Kaine became governor of Virginia, 1 week, he proposed a nearly $4 billion tax increase. $4 billion!